Are you still in love?
Today, Chloe contemplates her relationship. Nola charmer Tamica Lee joins us to break down her poolside dust-up.
I'm gonna go. I walk away when it's weird. I'm going away.
And fresh off the boat, Colin Macy-O'Toole is here to talk about his new season of Below Deck Mediterranean.
It's an all-new season, there's so much to be said.
This is your reality check.
Are you like the reality check master?
Welcome, everybody. It is Monday Fun Day up in this house. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and joining me today is People Magazine writer and reporter Aurelie Corinthios. From BuzzFeed's Cocoa Butter, it's Chantal, Rochelle, and from Hot 97, it's returning guest Miabelle. I mean, to be surrounded by such beauty, what a lucky lady I am. So welcome, everybody.
Happy to be here.
Thank you, guys. Do you want to dive into our top five?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's dive into our top five. A lot to cover today. At number 5, E! debuted their newest reality show last night. It's called Relatively Nat and Liv, where viewers get a peek into the dynamic family life of these Canadian cousins. So, based on first impressions alone, what do we think? Next big reality stars?
No.
Ooh, controversial right off the bat. That's why we bring you back, Miabelle. Why not?
I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I watched for 15 minutes and was like, girl, what are you talking about?
Okay, you didn't think there was much of a storyline or the characters weren't that interesting?
No, just
They do have
privilege for
Kim's
me.
stamp of approval, though. They are friends with Kim K.
Oh,
so that could give them a little leg up.
That's probably
more
good.
privilege.
That doesn't even save it for me. Listen, I got through 5 minutes. I couldn't even get to 15. I said, okay, I'm good. They didn't give me anything. I was wanting more for them. I'm sorry. I just couldn't do it.
Let's bring out Nat and Liv now to say, no, I'm just kidding.
If they want to have the couch, save space, okay?
Hey, girl.
Oh my goodness. Well, at number 4 in happier news, Bachelor in Paradise stars Raven and Adam announced their engagement on Instagram yesterday. Turns out Adam proposed in Dallas, and Bachelor Nation alum Ari saluted Adam's choice of bling, saying, Adam did good on that ring. But here's the question. If your friend got a crappy ring, what would you say? Would you lie and still say it was beautiful? Aw, you're a good friend.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess love is love. So whatever you can afford, baby.
Yeah?
If you love me, it is what it is.
I feel like if the heart is there, the love is there, and you're putting forth the effort and the good intention in the relationship, you know what? We can glow up together. Let's
Right.
one step at a time. Like,
Okay.
if you're starting off small, maybe we can work our way up to the big rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
let's
take
work
the starter
together.
ring.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to need to see
Congratulate
proof of, a down
Exactly.
payment
Right.
on the big one later.
Yes.
At number 3, while on a girls' trip to New Orleans, things took a turn at the end of last night's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac when Candace accused Ashley of not really trying to get pregnant. I just don't think you should be messing with people's fertility things. What did you think about Candace's comments and Ashley's reaction?
Well, I've been watching Potomac since day one, and I love Ashley, I love Candace. I think they bring that young, fresh approach to the show. But Candace, they used to come for her when they were like, why aren't you getting pregnant? Why aren't you
That's
doing this, the
true.
other? So put yourself in her shoes, how she's just got married, she's just starting this new life. Don't come for her. Like, remember where you were in that space, remember where you were in that time.
Right.
And like, give her the room to grow and enjoy her marriage. It hasn't even been a year yet.
Yeah.
So let her live, let her be married and happy, and just give her time.
Let her drink, I
Yes,
say.
let her drink, sis. You're just mad because you can't get a bottle. That's why she's
Right. Those kind of topics are off limits to me. It's like, relax. Know when to say certain things, and on camera is definitely not the time.
Yeah, and it's not as though she was drinking whilst pregnant. I mean,
Right.
a couple of glasses of wine never hurt anybody, I
Right.
say. I'm from Australia, so I'm all for it.
Right.
And number 2, America's Next Drag Superstar was crowned on Thursday. Miss Evie Oddly reigned supreme, and fans, they got what they wanted. Evie has been consistent throughout this entire competition, always being true to her odd, fabulous self. Ladies, if you're on Drag Race, what would your drag name be?
Mia the Stallion, because I love Megan the Stallion. Real hot girl stuff.
Mia
But,
the
yeah,
Stallion.
Mia the
Okay.
Stallion.
Done and done.
Yeah, you just did it. Okay, that one was great. I would have to say Marguerite Davenport.
Marguerite
Right, took it for a spin, didn't I? Gotcha. Yes.
I love that.
Classy.
I think
Don't
Honey
you
would
love
be-
it? Doesn't it? A hat right to the side, brim. Don't you feel
Honey
it?
would be proud.
Yes.
And then
I
Aurelie.
need some help with mine. Aurelie.
Okay.
I mean, I can think of
Or Alicia Davenport. We're sisters.
I love
Plot
it.
Perfect.
Perfect.
You feeling it? I
Done.
love it.
RuPaul, look out. We found your latest drag queen. And at number 1, drum roll please, Bravo takes us back to the Big Easy with the season 2 premiere of Southern Charm New Orleans. And this season looks like it's going to be full of drama and scandal. Lucky for us, we have Tamica Lee joining us a little bit later to dish on last night's episode. But real quick, do you guys prefer the OG Southern Charm or Southern Charm Nola?
OG for sure.
OG, you're a Pat fan?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I love the OG one, but I also love Nola because I'm from the South, I'm from Texas, and I always went to New Orleans. I just love the accent. I love what they bring to the table. It just feels like home. So I'm Nola girl
All right.
for sure.
I say both. They stepped it up, so I'm into it.
That's a very diplomatic answer, Miabelle. We're going to need you to get really feisty later on in the show.
I'll try.
All right, well, let's try right now. Let's not delay it any longer. Let's get into last night's episode of Kardashians because things are finally starting to heat up as we got a closer look into Khloe's relationship with Tristan.
He counts. It's been 7 months. And this, I'm like, so it's been 7 months.
Yeah.
Like, I'm allowed to do things when I want to do it. But he also needs to know your one stupid weekend or whatever you did. Look what it did to, 3 years of a relationship.
So sadly, we do know how this story ends, but in regards to this particular episode, Khloe was still holding on and she did explain to Malika why.
It's really hard to regain trust. I'm someone where the energy I have towards True, that's all that matters to me. And if that starts to be affected by me wondering, what's Tristan doing? Where is he? I will be out in 2 seconds.
So Khloe's putting on such a brave face for her bestie now. Why do you think that she's not opening up and saying how she really feels?
Because she knows she's dumb.
Oh, come on, me. I know I said to get feisty.
That was mean. Okay, that was mean. She knows that she messed up, I would say.
Right.
And in that sense, it's hard to open up and say, like, man, I messed up, and here's the situation that I'm in now. It's easier to play it cool and to front like it's not that big of a deal when you're wrong. Sorry, I said dumb. That wasn't nice.
No, it's fine. Look, we want some hearty debate on this show. What do you ladies
She
think?
might be a little embarrassed, and I'm a little biased
Yes.
here because I went to school with Tristan Thompson.
Oh, yeah?
And he is not the kindest person here. He is not. He was kind of a difficult person. So remembering the Tristan I knew then,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that she's having issues with him now. Like she mentioned that he said, it's been 7 months. I don't care if it's been 7 years. You still cheat on me. You still embarrass me. We had a vow. We promised each other that we'd be there for each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's just embarrassed. Like she paraded him around. This is the first time that we saw her find true love throughout this whole entire franchise, honestly. So she's embarrassed. She's a little like, yikes. Like,
And they have a kid together. I mean, that
as a
complicates
child.
everything.
Yeah.
I think so much of it has to do with True. Like, I think she maybe was in denial, wanted this to work so badly for her daughter, and maybe even in her head, like, she's not even at that step where she's like, it's over yet. It's taking her some time to get there.
Yeah, and it's also in that whole, like, it's been 7 months. Like, there's no statute of limitations for, like, how long people need to get over when you've hurt them and betrayed them on such a public platform as well, Well, before we go, I just want to pull up this tweet that I think we can all agree with from last night's episode. Let's take a look at it. This fan posted this. I thought this was the Jordan Tristan episode, and they included the perfect Nene meme. So, guys, Aurelie in particular, like, you're such an authority on this stuff. When is it going to erupt?
Everybody thought this was going to be the Jordan episode because they teased it at the end of last week's episode, but the caveat was it was still to come this season. So my speculation is they're going to keep that Jordan stuff for the very, very end of the season, like probably season finale, like last couple of episodes.
Oh, seriously? You don't think they're going to drop one on us for ages?
They'll do maybe bit by bit, but like the real stuff that people want to see, I bet will be safe till the end.
Oh, that means that the last frame of last night's preview was a lie because you saw Jordan like waving, and I was like, oh, what's going to happen?
Very clever editing, yeah.
Kris Jenner, man.
She's a genius.
They know how to draw it out longer than Chris Harrison telling people that they have roses left.
Right.
Goodness. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here today to talk all things Kardashian and to help me break down our top 5. I hope that you'll come back on a future episode. Right now, we do have to take a quick break, but when we return, Tamica Lee from Southern Charm Nola will be joining us via Skype to talk all about the new season. So stay tuned.
I don't want to
weird.
jump in.
I don't want to stand here right now.
No,
I don't feel comfortable. No. I'm gonna go. I walk away when it's weird. I'm going away.
I don't. She's upset.
She doesn't in La La Land, and she brings some up that shouldn't be brought up.
Welcome back to the show. We are so thrilled to have the lovely Tamica Lee from Southern Charm New Orleans with us via Skype right now. Tamica, welcome.
Thank you so much. And I do love the way you said New Orleans. It was so Southern.
Right? Nolans.
No, we say Nolans down here, but we'll take New Orleans. It's all good. How are you?
I am fantastic. So happy that you're joining us today because it's a brand new season of Southern Charm. Let's talk about some of your friends on the show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Reagan and Jeff, okay? So their divorce seems to be one of the biggest changes on the new season, but it seems like you weren't really buying their sort of happy split. So why don't we take a look at that real quick?
Sometimes love just isn't like enough.
I understand. I just can't deal.
I think it's healthy to mourn and deal with the situation at hand and then decide what you're gonna be. But like to just automatically like hands in like, we're divorcing, BFFs, go. It's just like,
it's very complicated.
What do you do?
What do you do? Well, look, how long do you think this amicable vibe that they have going on is actually gonna last?
I mean, it's going to play out because, and I push because that's what I do. And people were like, mind your business. And no, we're not going to, I'm not, and I just told you this. Remember, I just said, you got to keep toxic people out of your life.
Yeah.
You're not going to be around me pretending everything is rainbow and sunshine when it's not. And when I really know that, you know, you have feelings about things and so does he. So we're not going to have a pool party and just be like, everything is great. I'm going to push. And I think I pushed a little too hard. And you'll see how that works out because, I mean, it all has to hit the fan at some point.
Well,
and then
it started to hit the fan last night at the pool party because Reagan really hit a nerve with you. So why don't we see that?
Why would you even bring it up? Relate to me. I would never say anything.
You did, but you did.
I said you got a divorce.
Why did you bring it up? But you got divorced, right? You like Barry, right?
This is something that you've talked about openly, but I can't bring it up.
So Tamica, as a viewer, that just sort of felt like, oh, why is she going there? Because as you said, you guys have been friends for such a long time. So I think for us watching it felt like a little bit of a low blow, but I'm really curious to hear how you were feeling in that moment to have your friend of so many years bring up a painful time in your life and your marriage.
Right. I didn't ask about the divorce. Kelsey actually opened her big mouth and asked about the divorce. I wasn't going to talk about it at the pool party in front of, you know, my kids there and other friends. I was going to pull her aside and maybe see if she was okay.
Right.
But since Kelsey brought it up, we were talking about it. And then she tried to redirect and say, you know, didn't you leave Barry? And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I never had this conversation with my child yet. We actually finally did have that conversation because we had watched the episode last night together. I did not have a conversation with her. We're not doing this at my house, at my pool party with our friends right here. I talked to you about this in private. I'm confused. It was a complete redirect. And I'm like, okay, I get it now. Like you want to redirect because, you know, the pressure's on you and you want to throw it back at me. And so
yeah, it's like typical
really
projection.
To the point where I got very upset. I mean, I didn't think I had tears like that, but I'm like, it really hit me because I just didn't want Rainey. I didn't want to explain that to her later. You know what I mean? Like we could fight all day long.
Yeah.
But that was just really just low when my child was like, I'm like, did she hear? I was concerned about her.
Okay. Well, look, I mean, marriages will work, friendships will work. But, you know, we're certainly excited for the rest of the season. Is there one moment, though, that stands out in your mind, other than what we saw last night, that you're either really nervous for viewers to see or really excited for viewers to see?
I'm excited for viewers to see how every friendship has changed. I think that, or every relationship, I should say, friendship relationship kind of evolves. It starts off one way and it's going to end a completely different way. And just when you think you have it all figured out, or like, you know, it's one of these every week. I feel like what, and then as soon as you think you have it figured out, no, another bomb gets dropped and something else happens, and I'm like, what? I mean, I honestly probably need therapy after like a couple of these episodes.
Well, we're really excited to see the rest of the season now. It sounds like there's a ton of twists and turns in store for us. But either way, we're just so happy that you could join us today. It's such a pleasure to see your beautiful face down there in Nolans. Did I say it right that time?
Down here in Nolans.
Nolans.
Down here.
I got to come visit you guys. You know how to do it right.
I know.
I love it. Get me. Where's my one of those?
I know. Somebody get our French 75.
Come on. Tamica Lee, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you join us again on a future episode of Reality Check. And in the meantime, best of luck with everything.
Anytime. Thanks so much. Have a great Monday.
Thank you. You too. All right. Well, it is time for a very quick break. But on the other side of that, we are going to be hitting the high notes and the high C's with Colin Macy-O'Toole. So stay tuned.
And as cargo, we have everything, yeah, don't you know?
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I am now here with Below Deck Mediterranean star Colin Macy-O'Toole. Thank you for joining us, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. How's everything going? How's life above deck?
It's good. Right now, it's good. I have some time off from the boat, from the close quarters, and I have a little freedom for now.
Well, do you have freedom, though, because you are also the ferry port captain, per se, for the Fire Island ferries.
Right,
so
right.
You're always kind of in that sea mind.
The difference between ferrying and yachting, ferrying I get to go home at the end of the day and hang out with my friends and family. Yachting, you don't really have that. So it's 6 weeks of hard work, and you have roommates and charter guests every day. So it's definitely a different world.
Yeah, well, a different world, and one that can sometimes be full of drama, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But I'm really curious to know, after last season, did your DMs just completely explode after the season aired?
I've had my share of messages. I get a lot of moms.
A lot of moms?
I get a lot of moms.
I
get moms because I don't know. I guess I'm one of the nicer people on the show.
Okay.
So they're always looking out for their daughters.
I was going to say, do you get a lot of sort of like marriage proposals on the behalf
yes,
of? Yes,
I get them. I've gotten them all. I've gotten people from California, Montana, South Dakota, wherever they are. They want me to come out there and meet their daughters.
That's great. You got options. You got options.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about last season because you were on a yacht in the south of France. How does that compare to Fire Island?
It's a little different. Fire Island's beautiful, but I've never been to Europe before last season where we went to Italy. So going to the south of France, we went to Cannes, Monaco, Antibes, Nice. These locations are insane, and even though we're working, I just try and enjoy where I am as much as possible.
You got to soak it up. And I need to ask you a little bit about the controversy from last season because Joao said that Brooke cheated on him, whereas Brooke said that he was lying. So whose side are you on there? I
have to go with Joao. Joao's my bestie. I've heard both sides of the story. I talked to Brooke as well.
Yeah.
It's all he said, she said. So but he's one of my best friends, and I'll always be on his side.
Sticking by the bro code. I respect that. Well, let's talk about this season. Let's talk about this promo for a minute, okay?
Don't forget the toys. We sued everyone for all the girls and boys.
Okay, now sadly, we don't have the budget to play more than 3 seconds of that, so that's all we can do. How did you get into rapping? How did that all come about?
I went to school for music. I went to college for music. The first night out last season in Italy, a Big Sean song came out, and I just started rapping. It was like the only rap song I really know how to rap. And the following day, one of Captain Sandy's friends was our charter guest, and unfortunately for them, we were stuck on the dock, so they didn't have any time out on the water.
Okay.
So, and it was her birthday. They wanted to do something fun because when you're stuck on the dock, you're trying to, do whatever it takes to make sure they're having fun.
Yes.
So it was their birthday, and they were like, "Oh, would anyone be able to do like a birthday rap?" So Hannah and Captain Sandy were like, "Colin, you're doing it." I'm like, "Great."
Put you on the spot.
Yeah, put me on the spot, but I think I pulled it through, and so now I'm the rap guy, and hopefully I can bring a little fun to the show.
Someone get this guy a record deal. Well, Joao is now a bosun, so really quickly for those who are not up to speed with their nautical names, what is a bosun?
A bosun is basically the head of the deck team. So. Okay. All the people that run the lines, when we dock, undock, the water toys for the charter guests. Joao's the guy. That's our boss essentially, and we have to listen to him.
He's the head bosun in charge. HBIC, but head bosun. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, both of you were deckhands last season, but let's take a look at a clip hinting at some drama since you got promoted, which you kind of seem to be in the middle of.
As a bosun, I need to set an example. It's not up to you to decide whether you finish or not. It's not up to you. No, it's not.
Jack may not take you seriously, but you can be a hard ass.
I don't understand what your issue is.
I don't really need to be here and
If you want me to do things, you're going to have to ask me with respect.
So were you hoping to be promoted this season, or were you fine staying as deckhand?
I was fine staying as deckhand. You know, last year was my first yachting experience. This is my second. What actually was better, knowing that Joao was my bosun, I felt very comfortable with him. You know, from last season, that I had no problem going up to him for any help or any you know, refresher, you know, like tying knots or whatever. So if anything, I was fine with my position. But I was very proud of Joao being, you know, promoted to bosun, and he does a really good job.
That's awesome. And so it didn't change the dynamic of your friendship too
No,
much
not
because you
at
were
all.
equals, and then he was
No, absolutely not. No, he has more yachting experience, you know, so I will never doubt that at all.
Anyway, we are very much looking forward to tonight's season 4 premiere of Below Deck Mediterranean, and we'll be bringing you another great reality history moment in just a little bit. But before we go to that, Colin, take us to the break with a freestyle. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Thank you, everybody, for a reality check show. I hope you enjoy the med and the deck below. It's going to be crazy. There's a lot in store, so tune in tonight and watch season 4.
Dude, too good. Don't go anywhere. As if you need an excuse not to go anywhere. Just stick around. Welcome back to the show. I am still here with Colin from Below Deck Mediterranean. I have to say a big thank you to you for stopping by today, Colin.
Well, thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Of course, and go forth and use that Aussie lingo wisely.
Oh, of course.
Okay, because the ladies, they love it. It is now time for today's moment in reality history, and it comes from an old episode of The Amazing Race. Enjoy.
Where is he going? No, in this field!
In this 2004 episode of The Amazing Race, Colin Guinn and Christy Woods find themselves in the Philippines facing the now infamous plow detour.
I can't get him to go over there! My ox is broken! Come on!
Colin's epic meltdown remains one of the great moments in reality history, while reminding us all, sometimes you need to think outside the ox.
It's right here.
Oh my God.
Find the pit stop, the Coconut Palace.
Okay, let's be quick.
And 6 months later, that ox had his own reality TV show. I'm just kidding. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Colin, all of my other guests who joined me earlier as well. And a big thank you to you guys for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as well, because Paige and Hannah will be here to talk about tonight's Summer House finale. We love those girls, so make sure you tune in for that. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and I will check you tomorrow.